my girls with me. Rock with me, all my girls with me.
Go! And a curve over the top, she's found Hannah West directly, still going Hannah West! Irwin with the pick and go, Grieve right on her shoulder, gives it short to Vicky Irwin again!
What a right-hand fend that was.
Here comes Jazz Joyce. Is anybody going to be able to stop her?
But Rowland goes around the outside. Helena Rowland.
Harrison. Oh, lovely work from Harrison to find the gap. Oh, steps one way, then the other.
Hello everybody, did you miss us? Well, we are back for one final time, a Saracens host broadcast of the Allianz Premier 15 season. Wasps are in town for this one, and because it's our own broadcast, it gives us the right to be just the right type of bias. So to give us a positive Saracens slant on things, Sydney Gregson is here. Sydney, it's fantastic to have you alongside with us. We wish we could see you out on the pitch, as we have done all season. It's been a tough one for you. Just tell us where you're at with your recovery.
So back running now, which is good. I've been running for about a month or so just been on that really. I think it was never a goal to play this season, so hopefully back on the pitch start of next season / during pre-season as well. So just building up and getting fit for the next season.
I know it's a painful topic, but what was the injury that you had particularly?
So it was in pre-season last year actually, and it was ACL, MCL, meniscus and a femoral condyle fracture. So yeah, had surgery in September.
There's words in there I've never heard of before. That sounds really tough. Well done for getting back to this stage. We can't wait to see you next season. But what a season to miss, because it's been quite something, hasn't it, for the women's game. The Six Nations went on to another level, but also the Autumn Internationals before that. Looking at it from the sidelines, what vibes have you seen from it?
I think it just shows how much the women's game is growing. We've got record crowds. A lot more people tuned in online, or even when it's streamed on TV. I think things like that, it's just getting more people watching us, and just it's getting us that exposure that we really need to grow the game. So it's hard watching it in terms of I want to be out there, but it's also great to see.
Yeah, well, it won't be long. Next season, we hear is when you're back. So, match coming up in around about half an hour. But before that, we have a fantastic pre-match show. So stay tuned for this. Firstly, some airtime for the fantastic sponsors that allow us to bring this live stream to the screen.
Trading is about knowing the field, foreseeing the opportunity, executing at the right moment. Timing is everything.
Welcome back, everybody, and one more game to go of the regular season before Saracens' semi-final. It is here next Sunday, and we're yet to find out who it will be. By the end of today, we will know, but as many of you will already be aware, there was a rather heavy defeat for Saracens to have to get over last weekend, down in Exeter at Sandy Park, and they went down by 50 points plus. Just the 12 points scored it seemingly came out of the blue after such a good season for Saracens, in which they've topped the table yet again. And Sydney, what was your take on why Saracens lost in the manner in which they did?
I think a lot of it was about our defence and our physicality, which is, I know, something that the girls have been working on in training. I think, potentially the break with the internationals being away, it was hard to integrate them back in. I think there's a difference when they're away and when they're back. Obviously nice to have them back. But yeah, potentially we just didn't adapt to that and didn't play how we have all season. But I think it's something the girls will definitely learn from and hope to kind of improve on this week.
The instant reaction to that will be interesting. And what has been the reaction in the camp, though, with Alex Osterbury? What messages has he been passing back to the team, and how hard has the team taken it?
I think similar to what I've just said about physicality, defence and dominance, I think is something that Saracens have been known for, and something that we didn't show. So I think it's important that losses happen and things like that happen. Obviously maybe not with that scoreline, but I know it's something that we definitely will learn from, and we'll use it as a bit of fire to hopefully finish the season off on a high.
Well, in case you didn't catch the action or you want to be reminded of, and I don't know why you would, but here are the highlights from last week with Exeter's big victory over Saracens down at Sandy Park.
Good afternoon. Welcome to a sun-drenched Sandy Park. It really is summer weather down here in the southwest. Well, very interesting to see team selections from both sides, of course, with the internationals returning to their club fold. For Exeter Chiefs, well, whilst they've reintegrated their Canadian contingent, the Chiefs maintain their backline with the contrasting halfbacks, of course, in Flo Robinson and Patricia Garcia. It's a North American pack, principally augmented by the Dutch second row, Linda van der Velden, and of course the local girl and co-captain, Poppy Leach. For the visitors, well, Saracens welcome some, but not all of their Six Nations stars back into club colours. Holly Aitchison and Sarah McKenna are back in double digits for the visitors. Be interesting to see how they combine for the first time with Aleph Kelter in midfield. Up front, well, Hannah Bottomon does return at loosehead, whilst Jodie Retty and Vicky Fleetwood will augment Mackenzie Carson in that back row. On the charge comes Alex Ellis. First time we've seen the Canadian tight head with ball in hand. Oh, the little step and go from Jodie Retty. Well, what a start for the visitors inside 3 minutes. Good defence from the visitors, but still under the cosh. And eventually the try is there. I think it's the try scoring machine. I think it's Hope Rogers scoring the odd try or five. It is a sign of the game, the way the game's played now, and what's expected from the props and the hookers. Zachary gets a little offload in. Deutsch takes it on. Little show and go from the fullback. Is anybody going to bring her down? No, they're not. Marion Deutsch, welcome back to Exeter. What a virtuoso score from the Chiefs fullback. And once again, Exeter are going to try and turn the cosh now with Totosi in the vanguard of this driving maul. Up and over, and there is the third try, and again the Chiefs' pressure from set piece paying dividends, and they work what they've worked on the training paddock to great effect. Scrappy ball, but Fleetwood gets knocked out of the way, but Flo Robinson doesn't stop. And Flo Robinson nabs the fourth try. Again, the advantage goes to the home side. Saracens saying stern, but oh, there's nothing to stop that. Vicky Fleetwood's going to see yellow, but Exeter seeing happiness because I think it's the other number 7 who's got that try. Deutsch, the feed to Zachary. Zachary has Detivo outside. Detivo takes the handbrake off, goes through one, goes through two. Poor defence from the Saracens back three, and Exeter flow is just monumental now. It's a try tsunami for the Exeter Chiefs. Again, Kelter trying to counter-ruck. Rogers. Robinson with quick ball out to Linda van der Velden, and the Dutch second row does it again. She scored in that cup final a fortnight ago. She repeats the feat here as we move back into Allianz Premier 15's action this afternoon. Bottomon on the charge and gets there. Well, she deserves it for the effort that she's put in. She's been very noticeably frustrated on her return to Saracens colours. Getting first real opportunity to attack Brooke Bradley, keeping things going, keeping it ticking. Van der Velden again. The offload is there, and this line, it's an easy stroll through for Gabby Cantorna. Exeter Chiefs bring up the half century. Kate Zachary sees big gap behind her. There's a chase on from Niamh Terry. McKenna's going to get there first, and with a certain amount of relief dots it down. That's it, enough's enough, says Harry Waldbaum. It has been an emphatic performance from the hosts. 8 tries, 4 in each half. They have really turned over Saracens like we've rarely seen before.
Welcome back, everybody. That was last week. This is this week, and then next week something entirely different as well. Saracens men return for their last Gallagher Premiership home league game of the season. It's against Northampton Saints. This one's a big one as Saracens fight to secure their own home semi-final. So they'll be throwing everything into it to achieve a top 4 finish. Join us on Saturday the 21st of May in person if you can. Kickoff is 5:30 p.m. here at the StoneX Stadium. There are only limited tickets available, so head to saracens.com to secure your spot. Then the day after, it is the semi-finals of the Allianz Premier 15. Saracens are at home, we know that. We don't know who they're going to be against just yet. But anyway, the key details you need to know. 2 p.m. kickoff. We're throwing a full festival-style event to celebrate the day, so be sure to come down to the StoneX Stadium and show your support and join in. We've got world-class rugby, international superstars, and a whole host of off-pitch entertainment. Tickets start from £5 for concessions, £10 for adults, and we have a party package on offer as well, including pre-match multi-sport festival, food and drink, and everything you can imagine to have a terrific day. So to whet your appetite for next Sunday and the women's semi-final, here is a little video about what's in store.
Vivas can't get the ball away. Maybe she's found a hole, and Ella Vivas is going to go through to open Saracens scoring.
Corrigan cuts another line. Corrigan weaving her way through. She has Aitchison on the inside, and Holly Aitchison reads her winger's flight path and crashes over. Well, and now it's in the hands of Marley Packer. Saracens coming through. Saracens with the score.
Some support on her shoulders. Now they look to try and move it through. Bottoman on the carry, and Bottoman bashes over.
Now, time for something completely different. Have you ever asked yourself how to irritate someone in the best possible way? Maybe it's giving them... Oh, no, sorry. One sec. Do that again. Now for... Completely different. Have you ever asked yourself what's the best way to irritate someone? I'm sure many people I know have done that, certainly to me. But maybe it's invading their personal space. Maybe it is stealing someone's spot in a changing room. In a rugby sense, apparently it's spending time with Ben Earl. Anyway, we'll find out in our next Saracens short video, finding out about what Saracens players think is the best way to irritate someone. Cheers.
Oh, stepping on someone's toes in a line-out session. Annoyance immediately.
Speaking really close to someone's face, I think that would really annoy me. If someone's too much up in my face, I don't like that.
That one where you tap them on the shoulder and then you walk off. You know the one, don't you? It's happened to you. That's annoying, isn't it?
Get them to sit down with Ben Earl for 5 minutes at breakfast in the morning.
Drop a ball.
Hiding their boots in the bin.
Probably steal their spot in the change room. I think we get a bit territorial about game day and where we sit. So, steal their spot in the change room, and that's an easy way to annoy somebody.
Ask an injured person when are they back. That's never a good question.
Probably just to ignore them.
I think speak over the top of them, not allow them to talk.
Put your finger in their mouth when they're yawning.
I'd say forgetting your wallet when you're going to a bar. I've done it a few times, so yeah, probably that.
As many of you will know, this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and the core theme this year is loneliness. At Saracens, we're immensely proud to support this initiative through our Saracens Foundation. And one of the initiatives we've been running this season has been a Love to Dance group, and that's seen 275 adults attend our sessions The average age has been 72. We've had over 50 hours of dance classes. They've even performed on the Saracens pitch at half-time in the Gallagher Premiership. And 92% of attendees say they've made more friends since joining it. So it's been an incredible success. And we want to share you a video of some of the work that has been done this season. So we spoke to Diane about how the programme has helped her.
It's good for us. It's, the whole programme, I think, when I look back over the years, it helps with your confidence. And during those 11 years, I went through, as some of the other girls did as well, quite a difficult time because my husband, during that period, was ill and subsequently died. And, kept on coming. And it's been so good because if you have got issues that you're dealing with, it's so good to come and just escape that for a couple of hours, with like-minded people. So, it helps all the way around with your general sort of health and up here. Oh, yes, definitely. And trying to remember the routines is good for us as well.
Welcome back, everybody. Kickoff is coming up very shortly. Wasps out on the pitch now. Saracens will be joining them. But firstly, we're going to hear from Sydney Gregson. And Sydney, a final few summary about what this match and the motivating factors will be for Saracens.
Yeah, I think obviously in terms of points, this game isn't as important. But in terms of the girls getting the structures right and mentally just playing as well as we can, I think it'd be big for the final hopefully two games of the season.
In terms of this part of the season then, what's it like for the players at the business end of the season, let's call it? There's a semi-final coming up, there's hopefully a final after that. How are your mentality as a player changing at all?
I think it's more about focus and people tailoring their training, I think, before that. So I think when there's an international break, it's not pushing too hard, but it's pushing at the right times and just kind of making sure that we're peaking at this point in the season. So in terms of training, it's not too different now. It's more just about focusing and making sure that everything we've done in the season and all our structures and defensive systems, things like that, are on point.
The last chance to do that before next Sunday's semi-final. We hope to see you all there, by the way. We'll be talking a lot about that during today. What final messages do you think Alex would be shouting down the tunnel as the players come out? The key things to remember today for Saracens?
I think, as I've mentioned, about physicality and just staying switched on and playing how Saracens are known to play.
Fantastic. Sydney, thanks for your thoughts. We'll see you up in commentary shortly. Firstly, we're going to hear from both sets of coaches, Giselle Mather and Alex Osterbury. Alex, after last week's loss down in Exeter and a heavy loss at that, is there a case that has stoked the Saracens' bear at all?
Look, we had to learn quite quickly from last week's underwhelming performance. Ultimately it shouldn't take a defeat to get us going, but I think it's really just make sure that we're really focused on what we need to do both this week and going into the semi-final. It's not a case of we needed that. It's just a case of that's what happened. We didn't perform to our standards, and now we understand exactly what we need to do to get back, and the performances that have led to us winning the league. We know what we need to do. We've done it before, and now it's a case of making sure we're back on track.
And what will those things be, particularly today, that you want to see?
It's pretty simple. The game's not difficult. It's work hard. It's have the right mentality. It's win the physical collisions, and when the opportunities come, we take them. I think the first three bits are the most important. It's that work rate, it's the physicality, and it's our mentality. They've underpinned our performances throughout the season. We just need to get back on to our levels and standards regarding those.
Sunday in a week will of course be the semi-final. How are you managing to keep yourself in a silo for this one and leave that till next week?
I think it's really important that you take care of business. That's been our mantra and motto throughout the season. If you look too far ahead, you fall on the earliest, you stumble over the thing that's right in front of you. and this game is going to be full-blooded. It's against our London rivals. In fact, for me, it's perfect preparation going into semi-final, because it'll be a game of knockout rugby, just without the knockout element. But it'll be very competitive. It'll get us in the right frame of mind, and it'll ensure that if we fall away from our standards, we'll get punished against the good side, which is exactly what will happen the week after. So it's going to make sure that we're the ones that are taking the opportunities, we're the ones setting the standards, and that then fuels us going into the week after. But this is very much, front and centre of our minds now. We've got to take care of business today before we look into next week.
Thanks a lot for your time, Alex. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
Cheers. Giselle, Wasps are in 5th place today, coming into this... Sorry, can I start that again? Scrap that one. Giselle, Wasps are in 5th place coming into today. What are the internal motivating factors for your side?
I think first and foremost, we were hugely disappointed with our performance last week. It was very un-Wasp-like. And so I think the first and foremost thing for us is to sign off our season with a performance that we're proud of. And then there is still a fair bit at stake in terms of, by the end of today, we could finish 5th, 6th or 7th. And that's a big deal. Okay, it doesn't mean we make playoffs, but for us it still is a very big deal as to where we sit.
Wasps have made the playoffs for the previous 3 seasons, and this year it hasn't happened. What's that been down to?
It's been an extraordinarily difficult season for us. The rugby gods have not been kind to us on the injury front at all, with the majority of our contracted Roses and England Sevens players all having pretty major injuries, which have kept them out for 12 plus weeks each. And it has been, therefore, the continuity of the side, particularly in the backs, where you would want, you gel, you get better when the combinations and are buzzing, and we've not been able to achieve that this year due to the injury count. I think it's been a difficult season generally, with all the other things that are going on around the women's game and everything, and how club sides respond to that, and how, in terms of all the international stuff. So we started our season with the European qualifiers for our Irish players. So we started the season without five players there. So it's just that those things that have come on when a World Cup is on the target, which is difficult sometimes for the club sides to manage.
Is injuries on the increase something that the whole game should be concerned for, or just a particular randomness?
When I compare it to previous seasons for us, this is a freak season. You have them. We've looked at, obviously, done our homework as to how these injuries are happening. Some of them have happened on the international stage, and some of them have happened on the club one. Some of them have happened in training. Innocuous as well. Like, we've had one step on someone as they're walking back, stepped on someone's foot and bang, it's gone, and their ankle, and then others, so it's not a pattern. It's just the rugby gods have not smiled on us, and that's just, hopefully next season we've done our bit, but we've never had a season like this. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a trend. We'll obviously monitor next year, and then I might be able to say different, but I don't think so.
Well, best of luck today in the final of the game of the season. Hope it goes well for you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. A very good afternoon, everybody. The StoneX Stadium is set for the final league game of the season. In 8 days' time, there will be a semi-final on this pitch to contest. We don't yet know who will be the visitors that day, but let's take a look at the situation across the league, which will decide who visits the StoneX Stadium next weekend. So here are the graphics that we need to pay attention to across today. All fixtures starting at 2 p.m. Exeter Chiefs, Harlequins and Bristol Bears could all potentially be the visitors to the StoneX Stadium next weekend. It all depends on the results that occur across the league. Exeter Chiefs against Bristol, they are facing off Sandy Park, and Loughborough against Harlequins. Those are the 2 matches that we will be keeping our eyes peeled on, and I'm sure you will be too, potentially across the Allianz Premier 15 live streams as well. So there's plenty of rugby going on today, and the simultaneous final day feel to proceedings. Sydney Gregson has made it up into commentary alongside me. Sydney, welcome to Vantage Point. It's not a bad one today, is it? It's not a bad one to enjoy and sit in the sun for.
Yeah, definitely not. Really glad to be here, and hopefully it'll be a good day of rugby.
Well, Saracens coming out onto our screens. They're going to hit a few bags before they hit a few Wasps jerseys. Hannah Bottoman, she is in the starting lineup today in the number 1 jersey. Aliv Kelter in shot as well. One of the terrific players that Saracens have brought over to the Stonex Stadium this season, her arrival back in January, and she has really been a force to be reckoned with across the league in the centres, hasn't she, Sydney?
Yeah, definitely. I think she really found her form in the 15s game. She's obviously a legend in sevens, but she's found her form in 15s and she's performed consistently throughout.
Well, a quick look at the Saracens team before we begin. Just the 3 changes to the team that lost down in Exeter, the heaviest defeat in Saracens history in the Premier 15s era. But very small changes made by Alex Osterman. If that isn't a vote of confidence in this side, then there are very few others that he could make. Those 3 changes, though: Carly Waters is in at scrum half, Marley Packer comes in at number 7, and Kelsey Clifford comes in at tight head prop. And Marley Packer takes a co-captain's role along with Lottie Clapp, and she is there to drive standards as high as can be. We will see how the reaction is from Saracens women. Holly Aitchison will get us underway in this glorious afternoon of rugby across the Allianz Premier 15s, the final league match of the season. And Bryony Cleal takes the ball in for Wasps, wearing their white kit today. Plenty of former Saracens in the Wasps team, and a couple of former Wasps in the Saracens team as well. One of them in the commentary box alongside me. Sydney Gregson has pulled on a Wasps jersey before, but has performed wonders at the business end of the season for Saracens in previous years as well. So it's fantastic to have you along with us, Sydney, as Holly Aitchison boots this downfield, and Flo Williams at fly half. Meg Jones is on the injury list for Wasps, one of many injured players this season. She's 4 weeks after her operation, so no Meg Jones in the ranks for Wasps. Williams, however, the Welsh international, is there, and she puts this over the USA international Carly Waters. An open beginning, Sydney, and boots a ball early on.
Yeah, definitely. I think both teams have some really good kickers, so this might be a theme for the rest of the game, especially with that sun shining.
So May Campbell is ready to take a line out, but she's going to be told that actually it's a scrum, and we don't have our ref mic turned on today, unfortunately, so we won't be able to hear the words of Mike Lamb. That will be able to decipher the hand signals from our position. But the breakdown was a real problem for Saracens last weekend. At least 5 penalties at the breakdown they conceded at Sandy Park, and one of those a yellow card for Vicky Fleetwood as well. Discipline will be a number of important factors Saracens need to get right, and Waters is mobbed at the first pickup. So Packer starts her 80-minute shift, and she goes from the base. Waters. Saracens well and truly dealt a significant blow at the breakdown against Exeter. That part of the game will be all important today, as Aitchison goes in over the top, and Lizzie Goulden, the New Zealander in Wasps ranks, at the back as she fields. And Wasps from deep inside their own 22 with Bryony Cleal. And first breakdown penalty of the day against Saracens, Sydney.
Yeah, I think hopefully we will not carry on from last week with having a lot of penalties at the breakdown. I think that's something, discipline is massive for us, so hopefully that's one of not so many.
Both Wasps and Saracens have suffered from the break in the season for the TikTok Women's Six Nations. They've struggled to re-hit their stride after flying in February, and Wasps beat Harlequins in Coventry in a terrific match. They were by far the better team against the champions a couple of months ago. Saracens are yet to hit their stride. With internationals coming back in Sydney, that reintegration process is not as straightforward as you might seem. Internationals coming back doesn't mean they're going to fit in straight away.
No, definitely not. I think with them being in training and being out of training, it is very different. So I think a bit of time to adapt to them coming back is needed, which obviously we haven't really had. And I think Wasps are probably in a similar situation there. But hopefully, this being the second game with them back, we're hopefully in a bit more of our stride now. As well with injuries as well, both teams, as Giselle said when we spoke to her earlier, injuries is also a big thing.
Yeah, they certainly have been dealt a difficult blow this season. Wasps is starting 15, actually not what we see on that screen. There are a few changes. Maud Muir, for one, is not playing, concussed and out of action. The loose head prop, so it is another patchwork team for Wasps. But there's some significant players in that back line, and one of them just taking a short ball there, Abby Burton, in the inside centre slot. And she can really play. That's 15s or 7s. And she's lining up in a very appetising back line from a Wasp perspective. Amy Wilson-Hardy, Ellie Boatman as well. And they have pace to burn.
And just for talking about pace, you can see Abby Dow walking past the pitch now. So it'd be a big blow for Wasps to have lost her.
Abby Dow out of our shot, but on the sidelines on this running track here, and on crutches and moving nicely, actually. Saracens with their first possession off the scrum. Aitchison goes wide to Clapp. Lottie Clapp eyeing up further international honours this summer with the USA. Mackenzie Carson, the Canadian who hasn't been selected in Canada's latest squad, to some surprise. Katha Jacobs, the South African international, knocks forward. There are players from all around the world in this Saracens side, and when they put it together, it really hums, but not then. Lucy Knight with the ball in her hands, the Wasps halfback, and she's partnering with Flo Williams. Nye, member of the Royal Air Force, and last month was competing for them in an inter-services competition. Well, whilst Saracens' loss last week was a tough one to take, Wasps were also on the losing end at Gloucester Hartpury, and Giselle made a really upfront about how bad that performance was for them. So two sides looking to get back into form, and Saracens, with a view to next weekend, could really do with hitting their straps in this one. From an internal perspective, Sydney, how was that loss received by Saracens? Was there a lot of criticism? Does it work like that, or does everyone take a step back from that and just work out what went wrong?
I think maybe a little bit, but not so much criticism. I guess it's just looking at what we could have done better, which is a fair bit, and just what we can do in the next game.
So that chance coming now. At the moment, Wasps holding Saracens back. And they are the fastest starting team in the league, Saracens. And Aitchison goes to Casey. And she's robbed on the floor. 9. Flo Williams. 3 players back for Saracens. Clapp is the first to go, and she'll go round the first defender. Harriet Miller-Mills in the 8 shirt today for Wasps gets back with her. Waters now has Carson. Perhaps the type of beginning you would expect from two teams desperate to get over last week, and that not yet happening.
Hopefully getting all the mistakes out the way at the start. Can't be too nice with all these scrums in this heat either.
Yeah, it's one of the finest days of the year in terms of match days up at the StoneX Stadium. It's a peach here. Miller-Mills to Boatman. Back to our number 8s. Good hands on to Lucy Knight. Saracens with the steal. Packer. Fee McIntosh. Bottoman. And McKenna comes into the line, and Casey met on halfway. May Campbell plays scrum half. Kelter and Corrigan getting in a mix. Wasps turning the ball over again. They're living on scraps, but there are plenty of them. Saracens conceding possession rather easily.
Yeah, potentially not on the same page there. I think that's, yeah, we need to hit our stride, as we were talking about earlier, and hopefully get into this game.
And if you don't start well, Sydney, as an individual, let's say you make a few drop passes, how do you approach that mindset-wise? Is it an easy one, or does it stay in your head?
I think it can be quite difficult, but it's really important, especially at the start of a game. You don't want that to ruin the rest of it, the next 80 minutes. So yeah, it's important to kind of drop the mistakes and get on with it and get into the game.
Yeah, we had plenty of mistakes in our broadcast earlier with outtakes left in, and I apologise for those. But we're up to speed now, it feels like. So Flo Williams onto the line and almost taking it with Amy Wilson-Hardy. Tell us a little bit, Sydney, about the effect of dropping Marley Packer into a starting 15 and the turnaround that you can instantly expect.
Yeah, I think not just in terms of her physical presence, but she is so vocal and makes such a difference of getting the team pumped up, and just yeah, you can probably hear her from here. Just her presence on the pitch is huge.
So Waters ready to feed the scrum. Under pressure from Wasps. Waters has the ball still, and McKenna will arrive from fullback. Here goes Carson again. Big carry from Mackenzie Carson. She was to the fore in Sandy Park when few others were, and Wasps pinching the ball, racing away. Balogun is going to score. Terrific start for Wasps. Christiana Balogun scores the try.
That was a hell of an interception. I missed it. I didn't even see it, but I don't know how she managed to get that. Hell of a finish from her.
And the lock forward, reading the play perfectly. And over the line. Flo Williams makes it 7. Excellent start for Wasps, and Saracens undone by an interception from Christiana Balogun. So here we're seeing the run to the line, scanning well for any chasing numbers of Saracens. Only Casey and Kelter were there. After that head start, there was to be no catching Balogun.
Yeah, she had a fair way to go as well, so it's a good finish from her.
Aitchison gets Saracens back underway. And they go to Cleal again, who clears that up and gets hit right in the face from kickoff. That looked nasty. Hand instantly to her face. She was a Saracen for 5 years, Bryony Cleal. And of course, her sister Poppy here now. It's been a good start from the prop forward, but that looked painful.
Yeah, it's never nice to get a hand in the face. I think Bryony's another Wasp who has been quite unfortunate with injuries, but hopefully this one she'll get back up from.
Yeah, Liz Craik is over to check out Bryony Cleal. Liz Craik, actually a dentist. by her profession. And hopefully it's not a hit which requires any dentistry. And so at this point in the match, Sydney, a start which hasn't seen any points for Saracens' perspective. What types of messages would you expect to be being passed on, or for the players to be telling each other?
I think we're quite isolated at the moment. There's a few one-out runners going on their own, and we're a bit too slow to the breakdown. And then I think also just being on the same page with a couple of passes, a few drop balls, which I think is a result of not being on the same page. Perhaps some balls weren't meant for them. So I think, yeah, just getting on the right page and supporting each other and being in there at the breakdown first.
Bryony's sister Poppy, by the way, being kept on the sidelines due to injury, we're hearing, for this weekend. No indicator of whether that will rule her out for the semi-final. Hopefully not. That is impressive powers of recovery from Bryony Cleal, and straight to work in the scrum. This Wasps scrum has seen plenty of teams off. Harlequins back in February. Wasps were all over their opponents in that facet of the game. Saracens get the slight nudge on there, but Miller Mills will go off the back. Hunting her down was Vicky Fleetwood. And Cleo right back into the job of carrying forward. Nye to Williams. Taken well by McKenna. And Aitchison scans and then goes back down this 15-metre channel. Aitchison with the decision to make, whether to run or keep it in the air. Dinks it in behind. Excellent take from Wasps' Sam Monaghan. One of Ireland's standout performers in the TikTok Women's Six Nations. Cliona Maloney, another Irish international, links well with Miller Mills. Kelsey Clifford was live to the ball there, but already the penalty coming. And try as they might, Saracens, they are struggling to get any momentum.
Yeah, unfortunate knock on there, but yeah, as you say, we're struggling with momentum at the moment, but it looks like they're potentially energised themselves a little bit more now.
Claire Malloy in the Sevens jersey for Wasps. Captain today as well. Oodles of international experience and international caps for Ireland in her back pocket. Goulden makes touch, and play goes up to Saracens' 22. Giselle Mather was saying before the match that with so many injuries in this team, the type of all-court game that we have come to expect from Wasps at times this season, when they've had all their players back, won't necessarily be able to be put in today. Particularly on starter plays where they would struggle a little bit more. And that's one up for Saracens. Disrupting Wasps' line out enough. Difficult to predict the weather in 8 days' time, but if it is as sunny as this, it's a very good hit out for Saracens in that regard. It does take you by surprise, doesn't it, when the weather's like this?
Yeah, definitely. I think especially in England, you've got to prepare for rain, sun, or even snow week to week. So, yeah, hopefully it will be this nice next week.
I think we've had a fixture here at the Stonex that's had all three earlier in the season. Carson brings it away. Big carry. Flo Williams bumped out the way, and Casey latches onto the ball. Saracens searching for momentum in the match. Signs are it's beginning to come. Goulden, good take from the fullback. Aitchison almost setting up camp just outside her 22, but now she gets the footwork going. Waters to Clifford. One of the 3 players inserted into the starting 15 for this one. Short ball to Corrigan, and it was forward, right in front of the referee.
I think again they're perhaps not on the same page, but it's good that we're trying things.
It's such a fine line with mistakes in rugby union. You hardly have to be an inch off, and what could have been a break-up field of 50 metres or more is a scrum to Wasps in a brilliant position. And Sydney, how do you defend a split scrum like this with 3 each side?
Yeah, I think it's just keeping an eye out, at communicating with your flankers in the scrum to get them to go out and go on the right people, and then just, yeah, keeping your defensive system, and as I say, communication is key.
Well, Lucy Knight does go to the blind side. Back to Flo Williams from Gemma Rowland. Knight at Miller Mills, and now on to Maloney. Along again to Monaghan. Knight, she's got an excellent pass, Lucy Knight. Really fizzes out of the hands. Goulden, the fullback, joins the attack. Now the try scorer, Balogun. Big, powerful run from Christiana Balogun. Moved along by Craik. Saracens watch her well. Williams pulled out of the line. Corrigan was live to the ball, and can she get away here? The right winger times it perfectly. Wasps get back, and they muscle the penalty. That's excellent scrambling from Wasps. Abby Burton, the inside centre, got back well.
Yeah, Abby Burton can be a menace at the breakdown. I think it's a great break by Alicia, but again, just our support wasn't there.
So Goulden's nudged to the left-hand touchline this time. More field possession for Wasps. From New Zealand, Lizzie Goulden. Came over to England back in 2018 and has been at Wasps ever since. Maloney lines this one. Balogun is at the front. Monaghan is the target. It's a good steal from Saracens. Fee McIntosh getting up and putting a hand in the way. Can Saracens win it back? Packer arrives. But Wasps have worked some wonders to turn that back over from the take from Fee McIntosh. Well, amongst the good things, Sydney, a few frustrating elements that keep holding Saracens back. But a line-out still, at any point in the game, a good sign. And Fee McIntosh, who's been a regular in the starting 15 in the second row in recent matches for Saracens.
Does look hot out there. I'm sure the backs will appreciate this this little rest. Not so much for the forwards.
Scrums adding up as well, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Clifford Campbell and Bottomant. May Campbell, the club's Player of the Month last month in April. Penalty Wasps. It's rare to see Saracens struggle so much at the start of a match. It reminds me of a Saracens match last season, a men's match actually, when they played Jersey here in the Championship after they lost to Cornish Pirates. For the first 25 minutes, that's where we are now as well. They just couldn't fire at all, and then from there on in, they had the wind in their sails and they took off. But it has been a difficult 25 minutes of work so far, and Wasps knocking on the door again. Penalty comes for Saracens, and doesn't that one get a cheer?
Lots of celebrations on the pitch there. I think that was a big opportunity for Wasps there, so yeah, it's good for us to get the turnover.
So Aitchison hits this into the stands. It's been fantastic to see Holly Aitchison in an England jersey over the course of the Six Nations. Such a talented ball player, so to have Harrison, Aitchison and Helena Rowland as well, which England managed to fit in to their starting 15. Very exciting to see. Molloy off the back, but knocking on.
I think that's lucky for us there that was a knock on. Another line out loss, so potentially something that needs to improve for the rest of the game.
Well, if you are keeping an eye on matches across the league and seeing what scores are going on between Exeter and Bristol, Loughborough and Quins, and do let us know, because that will decide who comes here next weekend for the semi-finals. Saracens right now locked in this final league fixture, and it is a tough one. Wasps and Goulden hit downfield. 7-point advantage courtesy of Christiana Balogun. And the word we're hearing, Exeter beating Bristol currently. Sarah McKenna. 2 starts for England in this year's Six Nations, and from fullback today, just unable to break free. It's a very strong Wasps performance, because last week against Gloucester Hartpury, from the looks of the highlights, they were totally outplayed.
Yeah, I think this is a big game for Wasps as well, just to almost prove themselves as a team, because they were in contention for top 4. Obviously, unfortunately missed out, but they have been competitive all season.
If you're planning on coming down next weekend, make sure you book your tickets as soon as you can. £10 for adults and £5 or less for concessions and children. It's going to be a terrific day out. Wasps here, and Harriet Miller-Mills take the line out down and start to edge closer to Saracens' line. Lucy Nye arrives, Maloney at the back. McIntosh is causing a menace of herself, but now she has to work back quickly. Carson as well, but Maloney spins, and if she can place, Wasps will have a second. Bundling for the line again. Wasps are over. They have the second try. The forwards powering through Saracens first them all, and then from the pick and go from Bryony Cleal.
Yeah, you'd expect that from a line-up that close to the line, I think. So, yeah, well done to Wasps there. It's a good finish from Bryony.
The first try was an opportune bit of work from Balogun. That was finely structured forward play. Once again, Flo Williams. And Williams makes it 2 from 2 from the tee. Wasps leading 14 points to 0 at the StoneX Stadium.
Yeah, you can see her pointing at the line there, and a really low carry. So yeah, there was no stopping her there.
Yeah, Bryony Cleal, the type of player who any team in the league would struggle to stop from that distance. Short range specialist, and 2 tries from Wasps forwards in this match. Here goes Abby Burton. Saracens yet to score, and pressure put on Lizzie Goulden. And on the halfway line, Aitchison spreads the play over to Clapp, and Wasps fast up on Clapp, but she finds the only gap. Waters. From Aitchison to Marley Packer. And Packer, of course, makes inroads. But then Wasps isolate her, and May Campbell can't do anything. Marley Packer following up.
I think at the moment we're getting opportunities and following them up with mistakes and losing the ball at the breakdown. So I can imagine what Alex's message is going to be at half-time.
Wasps again in Saracens territory. Balogun drops it down. 9 rightly doesn't pass it out as Bottoman was racing through. Miller Mills. Clear. Supported by Monaghan. And Nye and Williams. This is one for Boatman to chase, but McKenna has done fantastically well. Packer plays scrum half for Fleetwood. Look at the counter ruck again from Monaghan. She's been everywhere in this opening half an hour. Waters now. Aitchison. It's a good carry, isn't it, from Clifford. Aitchison with none on the inside, and Fleetwood supported by McKenna. McIntosh not picking the ball up with any space to work with. She's done well, but then Cleo comes through. Carson. And Saracens just have to get rid. But now Goulden starts again. Flies it over to Boatman, and she has speed if she can find some green space, and doesn't she do that? Ellie Boatman sizes up Saracens defenders and gets on the outside. Boatman racing home. She's got there. It's another Ellie Boatman special.
Yeah, that's a great finish from Ellie Boatman there. I think given a space like that, you just can't. She's got the speed to run around you, and she's shown it there.
Corrigan made good yards to cover, and the only one to bring Boatman to ground, but she was already there by that stage. And it's not at all what Saracens fans, Saracens team, everyone around us would be wanting at this point at all, but Wasps have started so well.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to try and get at least one try before half-time now.
And let's remember that this is a fixture where comebacks are famous. In recent years, Plenty of those. Flo Williams lining up the most difficult conversion so far. And she's nailed it. Flo Williams, that is stunning. She has just over a 50% kick success rate in the Allianz Premier 15s this season. She's now 3 from 3 so far, but this is so good from Boatman. Saracens 21 points to 0 down against Wasps. And Corrigan trying her best to change that as quickly as possible. Five minutes to play for that score to come, Sydney, that you would like to see, everyone would like to see.
Yeah, I think we need to play territory now. I think we're backed up in our half for most of this half so far. So we're kicking in the right areas, but we just need to keep the ball there.
Miller Mills onto Burton, and she takes on 2 Saracens defenders and goes through both. Good yards from the inside centre. Balogun missed out, and Cleo with the hands onto Rowland. What a first half Bryony Cleo is having. Another carry from Monaghan, another one who has put her hand up in this first half. Williams. Goulden will go out again, and Boatman for the second time gets going. Clapp had her number. Wasps stopped on halfway. Counter rucker ineffective as Nye then finds half a gap. Flo Williams races in. Goulden now takes over the kicking duties. Aitchison. Saracens so often just kicking back to Wasps, and they are happy to counter at this point in the half as Rowland spins. Penalty comes for Saracens. We'll also have a break. Injury down on this side. With an analytical head-on, Sydney, what are Wasps doing well that is contributing to Saracens and not hitting their straps at the moment?
I think they just look a lot more energised. They, they're carrying really hard. The support's there, and they're playing out wide when they need to. And giving their wingers that space, they're doing really well with it.
Katha Jacobs, it looks like, who is limping off in Saracens' second row. So Sonia Green straps on her scrum hat, heads into action again. And in some ways, Sydney, Sonia Green, your boss at Saracens High School. How would you, what's the exact line of management there?
Yeah, so she's the vice principal at the school that I work at. So yeah, essentially she is my boss. But she's she's very different at rugby than she is at work.
So Green into the action for Katha Jacobs. Green, the vice principal, is that right, at Saracens High School?
Yes, correct.
It's one of the many fantastic parts of the community which Saracens put time and resource into. So Wasps also getting some running repairs at this point in the match. 21 points to 0. Few sides have managed to do that to Saracens this season, and even Exeter weren't able to keep Saracens to Jodie Retty's try at the very start of the match last week. Got Saracens on the board early. It is a struggle for them at the moment. And we'll pick over that in more detail at half-time with Sydney Gregson.
I'm hoping it's going to be the opposite of last week. Last week we started well, finished badly. This week started badly, and hopefully we'll, the comeback will be on.
Saracens are the second highest try scorers in the league, just behind Exeter across this season. No doubt that this 21 points is easily recoverable for a team of this quality. Wasps are in the driving seat, and popping it off is Wilson Hardy, and that one doesn't work out. Wasps also playing to finish in 5th position as well. They could finish in 7th if they were to lose today, or even 6th as well, so they have that carrot dangling in front of them. But for the first time in the Premier, 15-0, no Wasps team in the semi-finals. They have put that behind them today so far. Saracen scrum. Half-time knocking. And it's a solid one for Waters. And Kelter takes it into contact. Green, first touch of the ball, having replaced Katha Jacobs. Packer places a good fend and then gets the legs pumping. Bumped into by Campbell, and she drags her captain forward. Fleetwood, she's hit hard by Monaghan. Vicky Fleetwood wrestles well. Right on halfway are Saracens. And Kelsey Clifford knocked backwards but gains extra yards in the process. Lottie Clapp is chasing Holly Aitchison's kick, and the bounce almost works, and Saracens will take it. Clapp does make it work. Terrific chasing from the left wing. But just on the floor, a knock-on spotted by Mike Lamb.
Yeah, that could have been something special there. That was a good kick and perhaps lucky bounce there. But again, it's just that support, I think, we're just a split second too slow to the breakdown.
It was a good chase from Lottie Clapp. Fantastic to see that she has international figures accruing. Now that she has the USA on her radar, fingers crossed that she'll add to those caps this summer when the USA play in a 4-team tournament. They've got the USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Tournament's being held in New Zealand in June. The first match actually USA against Canada on the 5th of June. It's going to bring quite a few Saracens players together and up against each other. Good scrum from Wasps, but Carson, the Canadian international, flicks it out the back to Aitchison. Kelter is there. Now on to McKenna, and she has space to run. Sarah McKenna sizes up Wasps defence. Alicia Corrigan is there. She steps inside, 2, and gets it down. Saracens on the board as the first half draws to an end, and that is so important.
That's a hell of a finish from Alicia there. I think her footwork is one to be reckoned with, and yeah, she's finished really well there.
Corrigan gives Saracens a foothold. Wonderful hands from Sarah McKenna, and Corrigan just held her line well.
Yeah, that's what you want is back. So you want the space to run in, and then yeah, it's just that last pass. Timing was great from McKenna there, and Alicia finished brilliantly.
And they have Kelter. From far out on the right-hand side, nails the conversion. All 7 for Saracens, and that brings them into the contest. Kelter says, let's get going.
Yeah, that kick could be really important. Obviously, Flo Williams getting 3 from 3. Kicking makes such a difference points-wise, so great that we've got Olive on the boot today.
The loss to Exeter was Kelter's first as a Saracen.
It's that great footwork from Alicia again, and steps in, steps 2 players, and finishes.
Flo Williams gets Wasps going, and McIntosh, Campbell, Packer. Campbell goes for a second time. Balogun is making a real mischief of herself at that ruck, but Saracens get it back, and Williams picks her spot. 2 number 10s watching each other well, with 30 metres in between each other. They have kicked to each other on multiple occasions, and as this first half started, it ends with a kick contest. In between, there have been 3 tries for Wasps. They have played terrifically in the first 40 minutes. Saracens getting on the scoreboard at the very end with a try finished off by Alicia Corrigan. But at half-time at the StoneX Stadium, it is Wasps who are playing the better in the North London Sun. 21 points to 7, they lead.
Trading is about knowing the field, foreseeing the opportunity, executing at the right moment. Timing is everything.
So let's take a whiz through the first half in highlight form, and we appreciate there weren't many for you, Sydney, and for Saracens, but it was Wasps who were off to the races right from the off.
Yeah, obviously first try from Wasps, that's just an unbelievable interception there, and as I say, the finish. Blink and you'll miss that interception.
It was Aitchison who was trying to operate close to the line, wasn't she? And Balogun read it well. From a little further, closer to the line even, Bryony Cleal, even up against Marley Packer, and Hannah Bottoman wins that contest.
Yeah, I think it's so hard to defend that close to the line, especially when they carry so low.
And for this next try from Ellie Boatman, how difficult is she to tackle?
Yeah, I think she looks so well balanced when she's running. Obviously, she's got a lot of pace, but it's being well balanced while running at that speed that makes you so hard to take down. Because obviously, a small McKenna's attempt there, but because she stays on her feet and stays so well balanced, she doesn't even slow down.
Yeah, 15 tries this season now with that score, Ellie Boatman.
And nice to finish with a positive for us. As we said, great time in the pass from McKenna there, and a lovely finish from Alicia.
So that's the story of the half, and 21 points to 7, it stays. So in 8 days' time, here at the StoneX Stadium, the semi-finals of the Allianz Premier 15s will be coming down. We still don't yet know who will be the visitors. Saracens having booked their home semi-final, courtesy of top position in the league, 11 points ahead of their nearest rivals. It'll be here. That is what we do know. We'll find out in 40 minutes' time or so who will join them. And there are scores at half-time elsewhere. Loughborough Lightning at the moment leading Harlequins. And that's a 15-12 scoreline at Loughborough. And then Bristol and Exeter facing off against each other at Sandy Park. And half-time there, it is Exeter who trail Bristol 14 points to 10. And a summary of those scores coming up on our screen now. And Gloucester Hartpury, of course, well ahead of DMP Durham Sharks. That's relevant to Wasps because they're looking to secure 5th position. They're in a race with Gloucester Hartpury for that. So they know they need points here now, with Gloucester Hartpury running away with that one. And there we go, Loughborough Lightning, Harlequins, our score saying 15-5, and social media giving us a different scoreline to that. I'm sure you're more across this than we will be. It's sometimes a little tricky with scores updating for us, as they should. Worcester Warriors up against Sale Sharks and leading that one 24 points to 12. But those fixtures, Exeter Chiefs, Bristol Bears, Loughborough Lightning, Harlequins, still too close to call. It's all in the balance. Sydney Gregson, do you have a preferred opponent for your team next weekend?
I think all top 4 teams are so competitive this year, which is great for women's rugby and great for the league. So no, I think potentially after last week's loss, not Exeter, but
right.
I think, yeah, anyone can be competitive on the day, so I think bring it on.
Thank you very much. Not quite sitting on... No, I'd say that was pretty much sitting on the fence, actually.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
That's entirely fair enough. Be diplomatic in life. It's a very sensible way of going. So, coming up second half here, and we will see if Saracens can turn this around. It's more about the performance today, of course, and the results irrelevant from a Saracens perspective in terms of league points. That doesn't matter a jot. It's about getting ready for 8 days' time, and now just 40 minutes of Allianz Premier 15 actions for Saracens to do that. We would love as many Saracens fans, if you're watching this at home and you haven't been able to come down today, if you're able to change that around next weekend for the semi-final, it would be terrific. We'd love to see you here. So much is planned around the StoneX Stadium. We'd like to go for a Saracens record attendance as well. We've reached 1,200 this season against Exeter. We'd love to top that. We'd love to go well beyond that if we can, and to get those of you who are thinking, oh, I might come down, that will be interesting, even more in the mood, then here is a little video which we hope entices you to do that.
Vivas can't get the ball away. Maybe she's found a hole, and Ella Vivas is going to go through to open Saracens scoring.
Corrigan cuts another line. Corrigan weaving her way through. She has Aitchison on the inside, and Holly Aitchison reads her winger's flight path and crashes over.
Well, and now it's in the hands of Marley Packer. Saracens coming through. Saracens with the score.
Some support on her shoulders. Now they look to try and move it through. Bottoman on the carry, and Bottoman bashes over.
The semi-final is coming. Tickets just £5. That's where they start, and up to £10 for adults. And there's been plenty of hands that have helped Saracens along the way this season in reaching first position in the league, but none more perhaps than Alex Osterbury, the women's head coach. So to mark the achievement of reaching first in the league, we had a little sit down with Alex to get his thoughts on a whole range of things, but particularly the team in which he instructs.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Saracens were one of the first clubs to really engage with their women's section, really support it. That was many years ago, and over the last kind of 5-6 years, there's been incredible investment, support, and the vision to see that there's real opportunities here to work with some wonderful sports people, some wonderful individuals, and get behind it and develop a programme that is pushing boundaries, it's supporting athletes and giving them opportunities on and off the field. So I think in the last few years there's been immense growth, immense support of the organisation in making sure that we remove some of the barriers. We're not saying that they're all gone by any stretch, but removing them, being aware of some of the things that are out there so that we can work to make sure that they're not going to be barriers going forward, and just the organisation's swing and support of driving women's sport, the women's sport agenda forward, not just at rugby. You've obviously got the netball, but all the programmes that they're doing out within the community to support the engagement and the empowerment of women is superb. And seeing firsthand how that's influencing individuals on a daily basis is great. Yeah, I think it's the access to facilities, opening the doors, and certainly over the last few years it's one and the same in terms of the athletes' access. So it doesn't matter male, female, or whatever it is. You're involved in the Saracens organisation, you've got the same level of access. I think the increase in medical support is significant, because the vast majority of these players are still they're still in full-time careers. So balancing being an unbelievable athlete with a full-time career is very challenging. But the club are assisting that in terms of medical access, in the day access, evening access, just ensuring that, again, that there's access for everyone, irrespective of whether it's a full-time or a part-time player. It's making sure that they get the support needed to drive on their rugby. And I think the big elements are the facility access, but I think just the general support of the programme across all departments, ensuring that we drive people to see what a great product Saracens Women's Rugby is, and celebrate the achievements of the players. I mean, the 100 club induction at the weekend, it is just making sure that it's the same, and ensuring that irrespective of sex, that we're celebrated, supported and respected in the same manner, and the club's making huge strides to ensure that's the case. The hard work that they put in, it justifies everything that they get out of it. I think to say that they're my players, and I've played a small part in their success. They're unbelievably driven, unbelievably talented, and as a support network for each other, they've driven the standards here at the club forward. They've driven their individual standards, and they're reaping the rewards of their hard work. And it's great now that the vast majority of the system is supporting them, rather than sometimes it has been a little bit of a hurdle to get through. Whereas now it's very much they're achieving because of their individual efforts, and the support is helping them rather than achieving in spite of some of the structures and barriers that have been in place. Yeah, I think it's huge, isn't it? I mean, not just from a performance perspective, having a cheering crowd behind you, but in any walk of life, when you're trying and you're putting all your efforts in, it's nice to have the recognition and reward. And don't get me wrong, we're not doing it, they're not doing it for that. But it is nice, and it helps them along the way. And more importantly, the more eyes that are on it, the more people that see that there's wonderful individuals there that you can celebrate, not just for their rugby prowess, but for the things that they're doing in wider life, and that inspires more people. And if that's one more player playing rugby, if that's more fans coming in thinking, "Oh wow, this is something to really get behind. It's exciting. It's people playing at the top end of their game, and it is really empowering and inspirational." That's where I think we're making a big difference, is that it's not seen as something that's hidden away on a Sunday afternoon, once a rugby club closes down. It's front and centre, it's celebrating, it's exactly where those individuals need to be, is that they're unbelievable in what they do on the field, and they're pretty special people. And I think the more that the world sees that, the more that we'll get the positive bounce for it, and the better it will be. That it will, it's self-perpetuating circles. People see success, people see these wonderful individuals breaking down barriers, driving things forward. The next generation, the next person through the door, pushes it forward, and hopefully some of the unconscious biases get challenged, or they melt away. And they're doing a wonderful job day in, day out doing that.
The thoughts of Alex Osterbury, sitting down and chatting to us earlier on in the season. Now, Sydney Gregson, the question we have for you now, the task is, can you do your best Alex Osterbury impression? What will he have been saying at half-time for Saracens?
I won't try a northern accent because my accents aren't great. But I think, as I was saying earlier in the game, I think his message is going to be big on the breakdown and support. I think we're just a little bit too slow there at the moment, and potentially just trying to be on the same page. I think there's a couple of knock-ons and missed opportunities just through it looking like we're not on the same page. So hopefully we'll come out firing, and we've got a good second half of rugby ahead of us.
21-7 Saracens trail, but remember, in this fixture, as recently as the last match between the two teams at the StoneX Stadium, it was a 33-27 thriller, and at half-time Saracens were leading 33 points to 3. Wasps coming right back into it. It was a terrific match, one with Saracens only just won at the end. Do you remember that one, Sydney?
Yeah, I was actually playing in that one. I wasn't injured. Yeah, that was Wasps did very well, and hopefully we can do that to them this game.
The last fixture between the two, of course, at the start of the season, the very first game of the season, 26 points to 20. Saracens winning it at Twyford Avenue. And Wasps' last victory over Saracens, that was a cracker as well, 26 points to 24 in February 2021. May Campbell scored a double for Saracens, but it wasn't enough. Meg Jones, you may remember, sent Twitter mad with a terrific opening try and then led Wasps to victory again at Twyford Avenue. So the StoneX Stadium, a serene calmness around the place today ahead of the fireworks, which we will see next weekend. And looking at half-time scores, at the moment, if scores were to stay the same, then it would be Harlequins coming here in the semi-final, but scores are really too close to do all that just yet, and I'm sure they'll change before the end of the day. So still, Bristol, Exeter or Harlequins could be the team coming here in 8 days' time. But don't miss out, go online, saracens.com, and book your ticket for that Sunday encounter, 22nd of May. And here come the team. Back onto the field, Marley Packer at the head of the Wolfpack. Lottie Clapp, the co-captain, and Ella Viervas we can see coming onto the field. So a change at scrum half with Viervas entering the fray in place of Carly Waters. Alicia Corrigan, Vicky Fleetwood, Mackenzie Carson. And again, Carson has shown just what a big carrier she is. Even in this match, we've still seen glimpses of just how good she is. It is surprising she hasn't been included in Canada's squad for their summer Pacific 4 competition, and a real shame as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think potentially I'm biased, but I think, you know, as a teammate, she's great during training and in games. So it is a big shock.
So 40 minutes to play of the regular season for Saracens and for Wasps. After this, for Wasps, that's it. It's all over. Saracens with what they will hope will be 2 more fixtures, but certainly 1. Wasps leading. 21 points to 7. Flo Williams, who was a calm, composed number 10 in the first half. And she's put that in a difficult old spot for Saracens to deal with, and Cleo will sweep up straight away. Terrific run from Bryony Cleo. She had so much energy in that first half. She begins the second half brightly, looking to take on all comers.
Yeah, that's definitely not the start that we would have hoped for, but hopefully we can get into the game more now.
Both territory and possession are in favour of Wasps in the first half. By almost every statistical metric, they were probably ahead of Saracens. And they get off to another good start in the second. Lizzie Goulden, again the solicitor by profession, putting that to within 6 metres of Saracens line, in a position they scored from in the first half. Miller Mills rises high, and then Wasps swoop round. At the back is Maloney. And the white jerseys start to edge forward. Maloney still at the back, and Saracens try and tie her in. It's good maul defence from Sarries. Now the backs can go though with Flo Williams. Wilson Hardy helping her centre partner. Just to the left, Balogun, and Goulden has come well into the line. Monaghan, known for her offloads, is Sam Monaghan. She doesn't get one away there. Saracens pinch on the floor. Viervas back to Aitchison. The exit is found, and although it hasn't gone that far, an important turnover and something to build on in the second half, Sydney.
Yeah, that's such an important turnover, and great defence, as you said. I don't know much about Moles, but May Campbell coming around and getting on the ball. Really good there, especially considering Wasps scored from a similar position in the first half.
It is a contact lens, which is being adjusted, which is why we are having a pause. And a question for you, Sydney Gregson. Eurovision tonight, is that on your radar? Have you seen the British entry?
You made a link there with Vision and Eurovision.
No, haven't intended to. Oh no, that's terrible. I think it's subconscious.
But no,
that's a terrible link. That shouldn't have been happened, but...
A terrible pun there, but no, it's not, unfortunately.
Shuts that one down then, as Wasps go again. And Flo Williams, and lovely line. Wilson Hardy cuts through, sizes up Viervas, goes on the outside. Amy Wilson Hardy. Wasps coming from all angles.
That's a hell of a line there from Amy. I think potentially a bit of miscomms in our defence, but she's picked out the right gap, and again, a great finish.
What a line this is from the outside centre.
I think that the good thing about that is just the attack there from Wasps. It's so hard to defend when you've got numerous players running at you, and just picking the right player there, and they did that. They put Amy right in that gap, and she did really well to finish.
Flo Williams is 3 from 3. And that one almost is pulled round. So it stays as 5 points advantage, 26 points to 7. Wasps have started the second half with meaning. There's very little you can do in defence, surely, with a line that good, Sydney.
Yeah, as I say, when you've got numerous players running at you, you've got to make a decision, and unfortunately just didn't make the right one there.
So Wasps restart. Monaghan. Nye. Goulden. Aitchison tracks the ball. 2 Wasp players arriving. And from the back, Wasps will build again. Williams's kick is ricocheting around, and Sonia Green has grabbed Wasps fly half, but penalty for offside. Oh, we don't have the ref mic, so we can't hear the words of Mike Lamb today. But surely, Sydney, possible case of not retreating far enough before trying to size up Flo Williams.
Yeah, I think potentially. Yeah, that must have been the case. Obviously, as you say, we can't hear what the ref is thinking, but ref's decision is final.
Corrigan, the try scorer, the only try scorer for Saracens so far. Another line out for Wasps. They've been good in this facet of the game, as they have in most facets. Williams. Amy Wilson-Hardy was lurking again. She doesn't find it in her grasp then, and Kelter surges forward.
And that is a perfect display of a good decision in defence. I think, you know, she did really well there to get up, cut the line of passing off, and then, yeah, it's a great tackle as well. This is the sort of energy we need now in this half.
Wasps just inside their own half. Miller Mills. She picks off despite the scrum going slightly backwards. Nye presents the ball well, and Malloy picks and goes and then finds Bryony Cleal, and then Ellie Boatman is off again. Viervas watches her well. Monahan into a second row partner, Balogun. Burton. Saracens were lying in wait for Wasps on that occasion. Malloy steps. Nye. Williams. Lovely flat pass to Boatman, and she escapes clap. Penalty Saracens. May Campbell involved on the floor.
Yeah, she's so good at that. As I've said previously before, because she's so low to the ground herself, she just gets under that ball and gets there first.
Thinly veiled dig at May Campbell, Sydney Gregson.
She's one of my good friends, so she can take it.
Yeah, she's not as many tries as last season this year, however. But in other regards, another splendid season from the hooker. Finds Fleetwood here. Viervas passes on to Aitchison, who goes to the line. This is more like it from Saracens, and Packer gets it on to Carson, who flies it in field. Wasps with their hands on the ball for a moment. Back with Saracens. Bryony Cleal gets moved out the way. Penalty coming. That was Saracens at their slickest.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, our offloading game is great when we get going. I think potentially, we tried one too many, but yeah, that's a glimpse of what we can do.
Aitchison is so dangerous when she operates close to the gain line like that.
Yeah, it's what she's so good at. She looks so calm and like she has so much time on the ball.
Line out to be retaken. McIntosh takes the ball from Campbell's throw. May Campbell gets her hands on the ball, and Saracens hit high speed. Penalty coming. Packer will look for the line. One more pick should do it. Viervas goes up to the backs, and Aitchison goes all the way along. Corrigan is underneath it, but can't take it under pressure from Rowland. Advantage was being played. Saracens come all the way back this way. Marley Packer went close.
I think, as we were saying earlier, there's a fine line between doing something fantastic and doing something that doesn't pay off, but it's almost like an extra an extra life when you've got a penalty advantage, so I love to see them trying things.
Campbell goes to McIntosh, but the jump wasn't there. Malloy picks this up and now engages in a chase. Clapp and Coe are going back. McKenna is there. And Saracens have to start again. Look at Burton making a nuisance of herself at the ruck. Clifford and Bottoman wrestle the ball forward. Viervas and Aitchison sees a gap herself, the fly half. Bottoman, good hands to her front row partner, and Clifford can't be stopped if you go high. Viervas, pace ratcheting up from Saracens as Kelter escapes the clutches and has Packer in support. Marley Packer steps the open side flanker. It's a brilliant score from Saracens. Kelter and Packer combining.
I need to go to Marley and ask her for some footwork advice, because that step was unbelievable. I think you see a lot of her hard ball carrying and showing her strength, but yeah, for her to put a step in like that to finish a try, that is really impressive. She's buzzing after that one.
She's led the charge for Saracens all game. There's that step, and does Wasps all ends up. $14 points the gap again, and if Kelter can convert this, Saracens will be within 2 scores. Kelter pulls it to the left, just 5. 14 points the difference, but Saracens, all importantly, showing just what they're about when they get quick ball. This step here, feint on the inside, off the left to go outside.
Yeah, it's a great initial break from Alev, and then, yeah, the support from Marley is fantastic.
She talks about flicking a switch when she steps onto a rugby field. Marley Packer in interviews about how she plays the game. And that switch can be flicked. And when it is turned up, she is impossible to stop. So Saracens right back in the contest. And for the first time, quick ball, Sydney, is it as easy as that? Was that the difference? Finally, spaces opened up because the ruck speed was good.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. I think especially as a back, you really notice it in a game. And I think when you get a good base to play off and you can get quick ball, it's so hard to defend. So making it a lot harder for Wasps now.
Well, scrum now starts to wheel, but Nye will still get it away. Burton. Over to Boatman, who has a run up onto the ball. Kelter standing in her way. Mills. Williams and Maloney. Bottoman in full ransacking mode. And Packer too. And Saracens have worked it back on their side. The big names in Saracens' pack living up to their reputations.
And an extra 10 metres for backshot, I'm guessing there. This is looking more like the start of the second half that we wanted.
And in a flash, Saracens are up to Wasps 22, and Aitchison is issuing the orders to the back line. McIntosh, surely the target again. She takes it down. Campbell looks for the ball. Sonia Green is already taking Wasps out of the equation. Now Green joins the action. Veervass as well. Campbell takes it on herself, but Miller-Mills is onto the ball. The maul splintering, as Saracens still with it. And Mike Lamb, the referee, wants to have a word with Claire Malloy and with Wasps. Presumably the number of penalties adding up.
Yeah, I think talking of penalties, our discipline's been a lot better so far this half. I don't want to jinx it because we're only early on, but hopefully if we can keep this and keep ball and keep the territory that we're gaining, it's looking a lot brighter for us.
Stark difference to this Saracens team after conceding early on in the second half. Campbell finds her woman. Now starts to head off towards the line. May Campbell looking for the whitewash. Ella Veervass lets the forwards do what they do, and Saracens and Campbell go over. Third try for Saracens.
That's a great finish from her again. You know, as you said, she's done that quite a lot this season. I think she might have scored that one because you said she hasn't scored too many this half. She must have heard you.
I was only saying compared to last year's efforts that it was a little lower, but certainly not by much. She's a danger in that position.
Yeah, she is. She's great at finishing off those driving balls.
So Kelter gets to line up the kick. She was in good form before the game. Slotting them over from this side, the other side. Kelter can't pull that one in. But Saracens with a third try and the momentum back with the home side. So 17 points to 26. And Saracens right in the bum fight now. As Kelter starts working her moves. Corrigan carries forward. Veervass and Bottoman and Bryony Cleal stands up. Aitchison starting to see more gaps appearing is Saracens fly half. Green. Good support from the lock forward, Veervass. She's done so much to raise the tempo of this match as Kelter now finds herself on the wing. Veervass to Bottoman and she shrugs away Cleena Maloney. And Marley Packer and Bryony Cleal having a forthright exchange of words.
Things getting a little bit heated out there, literally.
As a back, Sydney, do you love to see Marley Packer doing that?
Love to see it. On the pitch, I'm as far away from those sort of things as possible, or try to be. But it just shows her passion, really. She's so... You know, she didn't start that, but she's such a teammate that she's the first one there to back up her teammates, and it really shows.
9 points the difference now. And 20 minutes to play. All of a sudden, this one feels well within Saracens' grasp. So Alex Ellis now coming onto the pitch to replace Kelsey Clifford, Canadian international. She was a starter at Sandy Park last week. Someone with a few demons to exercise as well, perhaps. Switch play in the middle, doesn't go to hands. Corrigan has to tidy up. Virvas. Well, Mike Lamb will have a consultation here. And this we would really like to be able to hear. Unfortunately, we can't. Our microphone's pitch side not working with the referee.
No, I actually missed that. I was too focused on the ball, so I'm not too sure what went on there.
It was off the ball, wasn't it? I mean, it was just after the ruck had been completed. Yellow card for both Marley Packer and Bryony Cleal.
So yellow cards for Saracens, number 7 Marley Packer, and Wasps number 3 Bryony Cleal. Change from Wasps, number 9, Lucy Nye, being replaced by 21, Alexandria Wilkinson. Okay, couple of changes here. Saracens leaving the field. Number 4, Fiona McIntosh being replaced by 16, Jodie Retty. Change to Wasps in the field. Number 5, Christiana Bayo being replaced by 16, Heather. So substitution for Saracens just at the field. Number 11, Charlotte Clapp, being replaced by 23, Kareem Grant.